We have so much more to discuss about The Voice. I'm delighted to be joined by Warren Mundine, one of the leaders of the No campaign in the referendum and chairman of CPAC. Warren, it's been a significant development that the Western Australian government has gone back to the drawing board on the Aboriginal cultural heritage laws that came into force less than a month ago. What lessons can we take from this experience to inform our understanding of the proposal for a constitutional voice to Parliament?
Well, we can take a lot from it. Look, all Australians, believe in protecting, reasonably protecting Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander culture, and also protecting all of our other heritage in Australia. The problem with this thing was it really went overboard. It went a step too far, and it also highlighted that could be happening if the voice gets up at the next referendum, whether it's in October or November, we'll soon find out. So you got this situation where people were turning up, like the tree planting area, and demanding $2.5 million for people to plant trees. It's just this bizarre situation that arisen, and the government, should have been more quick to get on top of this. And of course, the only reason, let's be honest, the only reason they stepped back from it was because I'm sure Albanese picked up the telephone and told Mr Cook that this is not helping the referendum.
And it really does highlight the fact that while WA could go back to the drawing board, the Commonwealth and Australians as a whole won't have that option if the voice is in the Constitution. A poll in the Daily Telegraph today has some encouraging numbers for the no side of the campaign, suggesting a majority of people in all states intend to vote against the referendum proposal. But I'm conscious of the small sample for some of the states, and that the yes side have coffers full of corporate dollars they're yet to unleash. What is your takeaway from the poll?
Well, it's a continuation of the downward slide of the yes campaign. I agree completely with you. Look, most people don't really focus on an election until 6 weeks, 4 weeks out, when they've got to make a decision. So you just got to, it's nice to see for us on the no side, but we take it with a grain of salt. And also, I was always of the opinion that we could actually win all the states and also win the national majority vote, because, this has become an elite proposal, supported by all the corporations, supported by all these, organisations and sporting bodies and schools and everything like that. And one thing they forgot was that their members and their employees were going to vote the other way. Now our tactics were always very simple. We just went out there and engaged with real Australians. We didn't go to no boardrooms. We didn't go and talk to MDs and CEOs and football presidents or anything like that. Or, I always remember when I said that we were targeting the migrant community, Serene Morris said, from the Yes campaign, said, "Oh, we've already signed them up. We've spoken to all their their boards and of their associations, and they're all on board." And I said, "Yeah, well, we're talking to their members, and their members are not."
That's all the difference. I think the real advantage you've got is that principle of equality, which is so important to all Australians, is actually on the no side this time. Warren, you were in an excellent piece in the AFR this week about why the proposed voice shouldn't be trusted. You pointed out that Aboriginal people shouldn't expect the government to solve their problems and focus instead on the way that individuals and their communities need to take responsibility for their capacity to drive change. To quote you, you said, "There's only one person or group that can help us. That's us. We don't need anything in the Constitution to make people accountable. We can do it today." Is this something that many Aboriginal people deeply believe but are kind of too scared to say in the current climate? What are people telling you on the ground?
Well, the people on the ground, it's like the poll that came out today. it's amazing that the biggest figures are that a lot of Aboriginals haven't even heard of the voice, and people who have heard of the voice don't know what it is. And then, of course, you've got the know thing. So that's about 75% of people that we talk to at the moment. I'd love to say that they're all on our side, but the vast majority don't know or heard of the voice and don't know what the voice is all about. You know what they can do about fixing all the issues and problems in some of these Aboriginal communities? It's called accountability. We as taxpayers have been given money to the government to fix these problems, and they've been spending billions and billions of dollars for years on this. Who's held accountable for it? If someone in my office is spending money and they're not getting any contracts, then I'm going to have a chat to them. And if they still haven't sorted out their ways, I'll have to say, goodbye, you're out of here. Why isn't the accountability word being tossed around a bit more? All these public servants, all these Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal organisations that have got heaps of money, and what have they done about it to fix their communities? Now, I come from an old-fashioned background. My mum and dad, after the Second World War, they actually believed in self-determination, which started with self. You had to get up every morning and go to work. You had to make sure your kids went to school. You didn't need the government to be, looking after you. You got up and did these things. I just found it amazing what's happening to Aboriginal people at the moment. And if you look at this voice, and you said it earlier, to me, I can't understand why they're doing this and spending hundreds of millions of dollars. And you look at all the people who have been involved in this thing have also been the same people who have been on the other advisory committees. In fact, you've got the Coalition of the Peak there at the moment. And so what we're going to do is get those same advisory people, put them in the voice, and then we're going to expect a miracle that they're actually going to be accountable and actually fix things. If they're not doing it now, why are they going to do it when it's in the Constitution? Because all it does is lock them in, and we can't then get rid of them if they're not doing their job.
Yeah, it's a really good point. That old-fashioned concept of accountability, both personal and in relation to government grants, goes a long way. Warren Mundine, thank you very much for your time tonight and for your work to help people understand this proposal.